So now you're going to hear the kids talk about their work with Makey Makey and how it has improved their learning and understanding.
Okay.
And I just want to add, one of the big things about this clip is Donna's really worked hard to make the makerspace not just a one-time visit that kids get to go to once a month, but she's working with their teachers to really integrate it throughout the day in lots of different ways to really take advantage of that investment and those tools.
So you know, we on Digital Learning have talked about Makerspace quite a bit. Laura Woods has come on, our program coordinator for library media, and we've interviewed some of our LMTs at various schools. But just in case someone isn't following all those episodes, let's what is Makerspace real briefly?
So basically the concept of a makerspace is kind of honing in on this idea that kids and people in general are creators. And so rather than always doing the same kind of activities that we typically think of in school, like doing an essay or taking a quiz, it's starting to branch out into other ways of kids demonstrating their learning. So either by using a 3D printer and creating a model or a bust of the president, or having them create a project with tools like the Makey Makey kits, where they're creating circuitry and learning that at the same time as demonstrating their knowledge. And it's not always technology pieces, sometimes it's more craft. So they may be creating cards to demonstrate what they've learned, or to do something as a community project for other people.
All right, well, let's hear from the kids on their experience with Makerspace and Makey Makey at Ridgecrest Elementary.
My Big Dipper project I worked with Lucas on, and apparently the project was like very intense. We had a few mishaps along the way, but it was very, very intense coding. It was like coding without the computer coding. Kinda. He did the coding without the computer coding. I did the computer coding because I always wanted to do the computer coding.
How does it work? Well, how does your Big Dipper work?
Well, I'll show you. We labeled all of this, and so we put little letter stickers here. And so we hold down ground. We can show you the intro if you'd like. So this is just like this.
Our names are Davis and Lucas.
Lucas said that. He said Davis and he said Lucas. This is just information. The end of it is very fuzzy, so first touch ground non-connected bread and touch so it's like this. So like this, you hold down ground, which basically gives you an electrical current that only you can have unless you're touching that person. So if I touched your hand, you could touch it and it would make the sound. So it goes through the electrical current to the final one that wraps around the circuit. This circuit isn't complete yet, but if I complete it with my body, then it will get more like, it's kind of like this.
This star is called Alkaid. This star is called Mesoth. This star is called Alioth. This star is called Migres.
Migres turned out a bit funny.
This star is called Dubhe. This star is called Merak.
Oh, I accidentally hit intro too.
We put in some brads and we connected it to some copper tape right around here. So when you press the ground, it'll name the star for you. And we had to tape it down so the connection's good. And I put some sticker letters for the Big Dipper because, yeah. And we named all the stars in the order that we got it from Google. And we didn't intro because it was just so you know what our names are, a bit about our project, what to do when you get it, or when you do it.
So first you collected the research?
Well, we did all this stuff first, and then we did the research. When we put the alligator clips on, I don't know why, but it just made the random noise, the noise that it's supposed to tell you from the computer when we first got it in. We connected it to the Makey Makey, and we pressed ground, held for example, we held Alkaid, and it says this star is called Alkaid. We put in the brad, and then we had to, since there was a small bit of room from here to there, we didn't have that one. Since there was a bit of room left, we had to make it really tight. So we had to, since there was a lot of room, we put I had to get two pieces because I didn't know what would happen, because it would probably touch this one.
So you don't want them to touch.
So that's why I have two pieces. It's starting, and it can't touch the other one unless because if we do intro, then it'll name that star at the same time, and it won't really sound like how it was at the first time. So that's why there's two pieces of tape.
We thought of some ideas to write down for the speech I was going to say on the recording. We tried a couple of them, and then the last one was the best one. So we wrote it down, and then I spoke into the recording, and it sounded really good.
What are some things that you've created in the makerspace?
So, for these projects, we made a butterfly life cycle project, which is on Scratch. It's right here. And then we also did a piano project, which is the alphabet piano.
Okay, so you hold
Earth, and then egg.
press
The
egg.
first one's egg. Wait, let me turn up the volume.
Water butterfly lays the egg. Then, when the time comes, the egg hatches.
And then Earth, and then
When the
baby.
butterfly eggs hatch, tiny little baby caterpillars come out. Also, when they hatch, the mom butterfly goes away. The next part is the cocoon. When
The first part was doing all the designs on here, like this. And then we did the coding. And the next step was wiring with the copper tape and brads. And then I made, for an extra, this direction page. This is the alphabet piano, so we printed out the title and then colored it and customized it. And we made the code, and this is very complicated. And that's the wiring on this one.
Why is it complicated?
Because it's very hard to put on, because you need to put in the brads like this, they can't touch. And this is a different kind, because that one, on the butterfly life cycle, you had to touch Earth and another one. But on this one, you just have to touch both at the same time. And that's the complicated part, because you need to connect all of them together like this, and it needs to go like this, and it needs to connect to this spot, which is where the Earth goes. And then all these, the ones need to go here.